right now, based on what I know, I am officially off the 4x1. I won't be competing due to what I can say is favoritism.
Yeah, bemused and infuriated two-time national champion Tyquendo Tracey making damning claims during the Budapest World Championships. The Jamaican sprinter has come out swinging after he was replaced in the sprint relay pool by the Maurice Wilson coached Kedron Goldson. Tracey believes that Golson's inclusion showed bias.
There has been a whole heap of bias and privileges people have been gotten, as a lot of people would like to say, that a links get your places in a Jamaica, right? And this right here so is a prime example, because an athlete is not supposed to be on the team, and he's here because his coach is the head coach of the team. And when you also think about it, right, if they are going to say, oh, this person ran XYZ time, that's not a valid point. You have Julian Ford, Kishian Thomas, and Johan Blake, who has run faster than him more than once, right? But unfortunately, they didn't make the team, but their coach isn't the head coach, which Maurice Wilson would like to have people think that he has nothing to do with the athlete being here.
Yeah, Maurice Wilson, who was technical leader and to whom most of Tracey's venom has been directed, has threatened legal action against the 30-year-old sprinter. Lance, Mariah, this is quite a situation, and the truth is, it is not one of those issues that is easy to understand, because a lot of it goes beyond what happened in Budapest. A lot of it goes beyond this specific Tyquendo Tracey issue. Now, I want to start by saying and making it clear that based on the rules, it was within the permit of, within the discretion of the selectors to remove Tyquendo Tracey from the pool and put Kedron Goldson in the pool. The rules are clear. If you finish top 4 at the national championships, then you become automatically a member of the relay pool. The other 2 members of the relay pool, and you have 6 maximum per relay event, are selected by the committee, the selection committee. So from that standpoint, the coaches are very much in the clear in terms of the decision that they made to have Kedron Goldson or any other athlete that they deemed would be good enough to be part of the pool to be there. So if they decided, for example, that they wanted Andrew Hudson, who got to the 200 final, it is within the rules for them to have selected Andrew Hudson and brought him into the pool. Having said all of that, though, I think we have to respect Tyquendo Tracey for stepping forward and attempting to bring this entire issue into the spotlight. Because I do believe that there are some questions that have to be answered. And there are several issues around the conversation that has been started by Tyquendo Tracey that need to be looked at, especially by the Jamaica Athletics Administrative Association. Now, I want to go back, Lance and Mariah, to when the J3s had the press conference to name the team for Budapest. Remember, I had covered that press conference. The major story coming out of that press conference from our standpoint was the non-selection of Rasheen McDonald
Yes.
at the time for the individual 400 meters, either in the final three or as an alternate. And we had questioned that even if you did not pick him for the individual 400, then he should at least have been named as an alternate, which he wasn't at the time. That was later changed by the selection committee. But there is something very interesting. There were 4 members. Well, first of all, let me start by saying there were 6 members named to the 4x100 relay pool. The top 4 from the nationals, we're talking about the winner, Rowan Watson, Raheem Ford, Oblique Seville, and the 4th place man, Akeem Blake. Also in the pool of 6, the 5th place athlete, Tyquendo Tracey, and 6th place, Michael Campbell.
Right.
Those were the 6 named and released on the day of the press conference. Kedron Goldson was not on the list anywhere. On the 10th of August, however, when World Athletics released the list of entrants for the World Championships, then Kedron Goldson appeared on the mixed relay pool. Now, let's be clear. On the day of the press conference, there were only 4 persons named to the mixed relay pool. Not 6, as you would suspect.
Right.
What that says to me is that spaces were being left to add someone. I don't know who.
Some others.
Or
Yeah,
others,
because
yes.
it is, yeah.
As it turned out, Kedron Goldson was one of those others added to the pool.
Yeah.
Now there are some questions. Why wouldn't you just name Kedron Goldson
From the start.
from the start? Because when he appears on a list only on the 10th of August, when World Athletics releases the entry list, and that's the only time you realize he's there and he's in the mixed relay pool, it makes it seem as if you're trying to go through the back door to get him onto the team. And in my opinion, that becomes questionable behavior. And it's part of why Tyquendo Tracey said that, listen, we didn't know he was even on the team. It was only when we turned up at the camp that we're seeing this man. And that's why Tyquendo Tracey is saying he shouldn't even have been here. In my opinion, there should have been no reason for him not to be named on that original team. And Maurice Wilson and the Jamaica Athletics Administrative Association need to explain to us why he wasn't there originally and why, based on the sequence of events, at least in my opinion, it seemed as if they were trying to squeeze him in through the back door. For me, that's not a good look.
Right, and I was reading an interview, of course, done by SportsMax.tv, the team, Leighton and his team. And one of the things that stood out to me upon reading the interview was the link that Maurice Wilson has with the school, GC Foster, that this particular athlete...
He is principal,
right,
and he is head coach of Sprint Tech, which is based at GC Foster College.
That Kedron Goldson goes to.
Yes.
So again, you know, and I have to agree with you when you made the point that just name the person before so that all these different things don't come to the light now, because it leaves room for speculation. It leaves room for a lot of questions, and it's just not a good look for a professional body like that.
Yeah. There's another point that I want to make that I think both Maurice Wilson as the technical leader, the Jamaica Athletics Administrative Association, the selection committee, everyone involved with the selection of the team need to answer to. Rashid Dwyer, another case in point, another athlete who is part of the GC Foster base, of which Maurice Wilson heads. And I am in no way, by the way, suggesting that Maurice Wilson is the cause of any of this.
No.
But I am just saying that these things will always lead to questions. So Rashid Dwyer ranked outside the top 50 in the world in the men's 200 meters, was selected to run the 200 meters in Budapest. He was selected ahead of field events athletes who have significantly higher rankings. So a Jordan Scott in the men's triple jump, who was not selected to go. Shanice Porter, who is a former world championship finalist, who was not selected to go. These athletes, Lance and Mariah, or the J3s, said that part of why they did not take those athletes is because they did not have the funds to do so.
Yes.
No, try and follow me here, because this can get complicated and complex.
Oh, mine is complicated and complex. Go ahead. Try us.
The head of the selection committee, in an interview with our own Leighton Levy, SportsMax.tv, said that Rashid Dwyer was selected ahead of those field events athletes because he was also cover for the 4x100 meters relay. Rashid Dwyer was on the original list when we had the press conference. So Rashid Dwyer, a GC Foster College man, is selected as cover for relays. He's running the 200, but he is ranked significantly below field event athletes who have been left off. He gets that nod. And then another GC Foster athlete, Kedron Goldson, gets put into the mixed relay pool as cover again for the 4x100 meters relay. You see where I'm going with this, Lance and Mariah? It's not a good look. It's not a good look. If it is that you already had Rashid Dwyer as cover, why did you need Kedron Goldson as cover? And if you knew you were going to go with Kedron Goldson as cover, why didn't the better qualified athletes in the field events given the opportunity over Rashid Dwyer? That's problematic, and that raises significant questions as far as I'm concerned. Let me also say that as far as I am concerned, and I don't know how much the selection committee looked into this, but Andrew Hudson, who was already part of the team and is a 10:07 man for 100 meters this year and is our fastest 200-meter runner, was already on the team, and in my opinion should have always been looked at as the first cover for the relays. So again, there are questions to be answered. So Tyquendo Tracey might be incorrect with this specific instance of him being removed, because it is well within the discretion of the selectors and the coaches to make that decision. But having said that, there are many questions to be answered about the process and how certain athletes were selected.
Tracey said something in the video that we just looked at that hinted at Maurice Wilson trying to excuse himself as a decision maker.
Yes.
I've heard also from Wilson himself that as technical director of the aggregation there, he isn't a part of the selection process. How does that grab the rest of the track and field fraternity?
But I can tell you how it grabs me. I don't like it. I never like when a leader says I was not part of the decision-making process. I have a real problem with that, Lance and Mariah, because you are in the leadership position for a reason. If decisions are being made that go outside the rules, the guidelines set out by the administration, then it is your job to step in and do something about it.
Yeah, but is it though that he is not a part of the selection committee, and his role as the delegation technical director is to oversee the process of the entire administration of what happens in Budapest? And is it that he genuinely, as far as the rules go, is really not a selector? Is he, or is he not a part of the selection committee?
My information is that he is part of the selection committee.
Okay.
Well, now he is taking
That's my information. He is part of the selection committee, Mariah.
and the latest information is he's taking legal action against Tyquendo Tracey, saying that it's libel and, you know, damaging his reputation.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes, right? And as I said, I am not suggesting that Maurice Wilson is even the one who can answer some of these questions. Maybe it is the head of the selection committee for the J3As. Maybe it is the president of the J3As, Garth Gale.
Yeah,
but there are questions to be answered.
I heard him in a local radio interview, Maurice Wilson, speaking very profoundly about his history as a technical director in championships like these, Olympics and so on, and giving evidence that he has never favored his own athletes. He's, as a GC Foster College principal and Sprint Tech boss with a lot of athletes in the national setup, he was at pains to go back in history to identify cases where he has not used his influence because he coaches athletes to give them preferential treatment. He said that in a local radio interview last week that I heard.
I tell you, though, Lance, and I don't know because I am not on these teams.
Yes.
But the athletes don't think so. And that's why when Tyquendo Tracey came out, a number of other athletes on social media also stepped up, and it was almost as if there was a Me Too movement going on.
Okay.
So clearly, there are many athletes down the years who do not believe so. And maybe it is when we have a conversation with Coach Wilson, and I hope that we will have a conversation with Coach Wilson, that he will be able to explain some of those specific situations and what would have happened, why so many athletes feel as if they have been hard on, or that he has been biased in some of his selections. Yeah?
That's it. That's us. We go to break. Yeah, we'll be right back.